Welcome everybody to another episode of the Tequila Tuesday Show. I'm your host, Justin Baldwin, and the tequila that we're talking about today is... Actually, guys, real quick, I just want to say thank you so much for the love and the support and the messages that I've been getting over the past few months. I haven't taken the time to say thank you, and I really just wanted to thank you all for your feedback. And my favorite messages is when someone said that they saw tequila in one of the episodes, went out and tried it for the first time, and they let me know what they think. Whether you love it or you hate it, that is one of the major reasons that I started this show in the first place, was to shed light on tequila brands that you never would have tried, never would have heard of. And when you go out and try something that you saw in an episode, man, that makes me super excited. So thank you so much for all of the feedback and the love. I really, really do appreciate it. Also, if you like the video and subscribe. I know that a lot of y'all watching these videos aren't subscribed because YouTube tells me. So if you're watching the videos, like the video and subscribe. But the tequila that we're talking about today is Tres Agaves. And I'm really excited about doing this episode because they make an agave nectar that I've been using for a long time, and I never knew that they had a tequila. So, Tres Agaves was founded by Barry August, who ran Cabo Wabo Tequila for Sammy Hagar for a long time. If you haven't seen that episode, go back and watch it. Listen to the story because that's going to sound really familiar for Tres Agaves. So, Barry saw the process and everything that went into creating the brand of Cabo Wabo and thought to himself, that worked for them, why can't it work for me? So, Barry left Cabo Wabo and started a Mexican restaurant called Tres Agaves. Sounds really familiar if you've seen the previous episode. Then, they were killing the margarita game. So much so that they became the #1 seller of 100% agave tequila in America. The restaurant became the #1 selling place for 100% agave tequila. That's freaking insane. So, then one day Barry was like, wait, people love our margaritas, but they can't make them at home. So then he decided to take the name of the Mexican restaurant, turn it into a brand that made agave nectar, margarita mix, and tequila. So, I'm really excited to try this because Cabo Wabo was pretty good, and they became Tres Agaves the #1 seller of tequila. Their margaritas are amazing. They've won a stupid amount of awards for their tequila. So I'm really excited to try this. But after they cut the agaves, they use an autoclave or a pressure cooking system to cook the agaves. Then they crush them with the roller mill instead of a Tahona press, which isn't the worst. That's now become the industry standard, but just pointing that out. Then they use copper pot lined stills for the rest of the process. About the bottle, you'll see all over their bottles, organic, certified organic. Here's what I mean. Around the neck, there's a label that says certified organic. This medallion says USDA organic, certified organic. At the bottom of their label, which looks pretty clean and rustic, by the way, organic tequila. Then down here on the bottom label, organic tequila. So it's something they're really proud about. Obviously, it's 100% agave. Down here, it says Tequila Valley, which is where their agaves are grown. And depending on whether the agave is grown in the valley or in the highlands, that affects the flavor profile of the agave when it eventually becomes tequila. So, crafted from single source agave. Now, one thing that's interesting here is when this bottle was made, the NOM number was 1522. Now that distillery currently makes 14 tequilas. They have previously made 12. One of the ones that they previously made was Tres Agaves. Now, when this bottle was made, it was still made at the 1522 distillery. But as of right now, Tres Agaves is currently being made at 1614. Completely different distillery, and that distillery only makes Tres Agave tequila. So, pretty little interesting thing there. On the back, you have a map of the Tequila Valley in Jalisco, Mexico, and again, USDA organic. So, really excited to try this tequila for you guys. They do not make a smaller version. They only make this 750 milliliter size. It is plastic sealed, which again isn't, that big of a deal once you get all of it off. Now, this cork is a wooden topper with an actual cork embedded, which is nice. Some will have this kind of a wood cap with plastic put in there and it's just a screw on. I don't necessarily like that, but based off of that, I'm going to say there's going to be a lot of cooked agave in the nose and the flavor, but we shall see. Cooked agave and black pepper are definitely punching each other in the nose here. A little bit of citrus. Alcohol isn't really coming through. Cooked agave is very prevalent there. Citrus running through and a little bit of non-citrus fruitiness coming through with a slight black pepper finish there. I don't want to say it tastes general and generic, but it's really close to a lot of other tequilas that we've had on the show, unfortunately. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just not unique and doesn't really stand out at all. Luckily, the black pepper doesn't smack you as hard as some of the other ones that I would say taste very similar. It's actually very smooth. No bite at all. Tequila. I want to say it was like in the 30s for the 750 milliliter bottle, which isn't bad at all. And overall, very, very good. You could definitely have it by itself, not mixed at all. Just remember, when you're trying tequila, room temperature is the way to try it. If you're just sipping on it, tasting it by itself. I could definitely see this being really good in a margarita. Just because of the finishing touches of the citrus and just the smoothness and the initial hit kind of the cooked agave. So, I definitely do recommend that you go out and try Tres Agaves tequila. One thing about Blanco, it can be aged between 0 and 60 days, but Tres Agaves bottles it immediately after it gets out of the distillation process. So, it's the super pure form of their tequila. And the more I sit here, the more I want to try it and have some more. So, definitely recommend this tequila for you. After you go out and try it, let me know what you think. If you love it or hate it, either one is fine. Let me know. Again, thank you for the love and support. Here is to your continued health, wealth, love, and happiness. I'll see you next week.